Alright. Look at this wonderful winch. Oh, it's wonderful metal cable and its splinters and its bends and all the tears in the motor and this large Fairlead with fucking bullshit rollers that pop out when you lose the clips. I am sick and tired of this goddamn wire cable. I figured when I got the winch I'd save a couple, $150 and say, yeah, I'll get synthetic if I really need it. But for now we'll just try some wire cable. And well, fuck wire cable. This is less than a year old and it's been used quite a lot. It's been in over 20 pulls. Mud, water, very deep water, and all kinds of other shit. And already it's starting to rust here and there. I've sprayed it down with some rust inhibitors and tried to take care of it, but it's not easy. Especially like the last pull I had, it was a real off-center pull, and it started building up on one side of the motor. And I didn't realize what was going on until it was too late. It started cutting into the side of my brand new motor. This motor's less than like 2 weeks old, so that's a little upsetting, but it's not damaged. And there's just wire splinters and shit, and it's not easy. When you go to winch, every time I have to use my winch, I am upset, because I have to uncoil it, force the fucking thing out, especially if I've spent the time to coil it up nicely. So, I want my winch to be something that I'd like to actually use. So, I'm going to upgrade to some synthetic winch cable. So, here's what's on the table today. This right here is AmSteel-Blue. Well, right now it's military green. My favorite. This right here is some 3/8 inch cable. And it is 75 feet long. The stock cable that came on my Q9000 winch was 3/8 by 100 feet. And 100 feet's too much. It honestly is. I've never needed all 100 feet. And especially for short range pulls, that stuff will build up on the side of the winch real quick, and it's a pain in the ass. You got to keep taking it off and then spool it back in right, and it's not worth it. Because if you look, this isn't tightly spooled, but I mean, there's not much room for error there. It's too much. So you can already see that it's starting to touch the bumper. So I got 75 feet so that you'll be closer to the maximum pull rating of your winch. The closer you are to the bottom of the spool, the more torque you're going to get out of your rope, and you'll actually have 9,000 pounds instead of like a lot less when most of your rope's on there. That's why competitive winches only have like 50 feet, so you're a lot closer to the advertised power band. So it also comes with a master pull rope cover. I forget what they call this, but you velcro that around the rope. It's an abrasion guard, so that way if you're pulling over a rock or something sharp, that you don't cut up your beautiful rope. This has got some UV protection on it. This is Dyneema, nice and strong, and it's just got one of these little hooks on the end. So hopefully I can reuse my old hook. And you're also going to need yourself an aluminum Fairlead to go with your new rope. So this is from Smittybilt. This is just literally the cheapest one I could find. It was like 25 bucks. It's just some polished aluminum. Now, the reason why you want to switch to a Hawse Fairlead instead of this roller Fairlead is because if you look, this is really scratched up from all the wire, and it's just it's going to tear your rope up. From what I understand, the rope is too smooth to effectively roll the rollers. So instead of rolling them, it's going to slide across them and scratch up the rope. So if the rope isn't going to roll the rollers, what's the point of the rollers? So that's why I use the Hawse. It's a lot thinner too, so instead of the license plate being the first thing to hit stuff, my pre-runner, which is supposed to pre-run, will hit the things first. I've bent this fucking cheap-ass bracket up so many times it's not even funny. I had to put a metal guard behind it. Anyway, I'm talking way too much, so let's unspool this cable and put that new beautiful rope on. That'll be the fun part. Here, take a look. Just see how easy it is. Fucking use this bullshit. This actually isn't too bad. I'm impressed. I guess when I rewrapped it, it helped a lot. But before, oh my god, I almost hurt my back pulling this thing out. Oh my god, come here, you motherfucker! Oh yeah, that's another thing. This rope is fucking awesome because it's safe. This has got a 2-to-1 strength rating. This is rated for a lot. I want to say, I should probably look it up before I tell you, but it's somewhere between the 18,000 pound range, where this is rated for, I think, a little over 10,000. So where that's basically a almost 1-to-1 safety rating, this is a 2-to-1 safety rating. That's why I went with 3/8. You can actually safely do 5/16 rope if you want, just because of how freaking strong this stuff is. But there's no recoil, there's no torque behind it. It doesn't fucking want to spin around and fall off and do all kinds of bullshit. It's a lot easier to wrap up, and it's so much better. Alright, I'm gonna put some gloves off and take all this bullshit off. Okay, so once you unravel all that, then you'll see your little Allen key that holds the end of the wire on. So, let's take that little bracket off. Alright, so here's the winch all stripped down. Got the front roller fairleads off. These were a pain in the ass. There's not a lot of room with this bumper. I'm very happy with how tight the bumper clearance is, but at the same time it does make it annoying to try to work on. Come on, asshole, get in there. Let's see if I can do something. Yeah, those bolt heads are very thin. I can't get a wrench in there. It's just too thin. I had to use some vice grips on the bolt to take the nut off. So that was annoying. So yeah, if I wanted to take these out, I'd have to take the winch out. The Fairlead came with some included hardware, big old Allen key and some shiny stuff. First off, that nut's not going to fit back there, and this doesn't look all that great. That's a huge hole, so I don't really care. I'm just going to use the nuts that came with the winch originally. They fit in there. They do the job. They give you clearance for the socket head to fit in there, so I'm going to do that. Now, the other thing, the rope came with an Allen head screw that has a different pitch than the one that originally came with the winch. So I'm going to use the original one, since that's the one that's going to fit. So, make sure to check those things out. This rope is very, one of the downfalls is heat. These ropes cannot withstand a lot of heat. I think 150 degrees is about their safe point. After that, they start to melt and lose their strength. So the first layer of cable is going to have this nylon protective sleeve around it. And that is supposed to keep the rope safe on the drum. Inside the drum, there's a brake that holds the drum in place when you're winching, so that when you let off the trigger, you don't fly back again. But that winch brake creates a lot of heat. And if it gets hot enough, it'll melt your rope, and then your rope will fail. And you don't want that. So that's what this nylon thing is for. Also, when you're wrapping this on, I'll have to check the instructions again, but I believe that when you bolt this in, this is not supposed to hold the weight of the rope. You're supposed to put a couple wraps on it first, and the friction between the drum is what holds the rope on place. That's not meant to withstand 9,000 pounds of pulling force. Otherwise it'll rip it out, so you have to roll it up carefully. Alright, so cleaned everything up, painted it, and made it look all nice, so it's a lot smoother for the rope. I attached the Fairlead loosely because I'm going to work on a license plate bracket that is going to go behind it and adapt with my old plate so I can still use it. But until then, I'm just going to have it sit there. But a couple things I found out that I'm a little upset about. This fitting right here is a little larger than I expected. Maybe because it's 3/8, but it won't fit my my wire rope 3/8 hook. It's just a little too thick. I'm a little upset about that. So I guess I gotta get a new hook or something. But until then, I'm sure a D-ring will still fit through there fine, so it's not completely unusable. Alright, on to the wrapping up. So, you're gonna take your other line with your thingy-dingy and stick it through the Fairlead, through your bumper. You're gonna go underneath the winch and wrap upwards. And you're just gonna take your little set screw, your Allen key, and screw it in to the drum. So, let's do that. Now the fun part. So, with your set screw in place nice and tight, you're going to take your rope and just slowly guide it on and make sure that that nylon heat guard is wrapping around the full length of the drum. Alright, start your engine up and start winching in. Okay, there's your first wrap. Let's continue with the rope. And you just gotta do something about the tip. Okay, so here's my new modified bracket. Pretty basic. Paint and mount it up. Okay, so there's the bracket right there. So it finishes off the license plate bracket really nicely. Now it does the job, gets out of the way for the most part. I'm a little worried about high angle pulls. If I gotta go up like this, that's gonna be an issue, so I gotta look into something about that. Here's the hook I had to buy. I got this off of Jeep Swag for 40 bucks, which was the cheapest anywhere, considering these go about $70–80 on the original website, OK Oakley or whatever. But it's a big fucking thing right here. It's got the hammer pen design right here, so it'll fit inside a loop. You don't have to undo your beautiful little wrap that comes from the factory, and you can still put something in there. You can also get little hammerhead connectors, which is just two of these things together, so you can use your old hook as well if it fits. But there you go. It's sturdy as fuck. So, clip that on there and you're good to go. Have fun with your synthetic rope, buddy.